my name is Andersonne. What are my art forms? I sing. I'm a theater actress. Now I am a business owner, an entrepreneur through something called the Andersonne Experience. I have a podcast, the Andersonne Experiment, and I have something else coming up called Rota that I will not explain yet. I started with just the Andersonne Experience, and I was putting other artists on stage. And the way that was interesting is it made me realize that we don't have a big number of women that are doing music. So my thing was, if I have the first edition was a man, E.T., he had to be followed by a woman. Then I had De La Dube. Then I had another one, a man, then a woman. So I'm always aware wherever I am to try to create equity. I don't think equality is possible, and I don't think it should be, but I love equity, where we can all do what we know how to do very well. So I think that's where I do it. And then again, also in my music, I talk about taboo things. For example, I have a song called Sins where I talk about rape and what I think about the whole situation around it. So I always try to bring up the tough conversation and always try to create equity where I can. Let's start with good stuff. Let's start with advantages. It makes you see things in a different lens. I feel like whenever you're the outside or you're the one in the thousands of people, then you start noticing things that other people don't notice. What I mean by that is, for example, a simple thing where someone who doesn't speak in Rwanda will always say, when we speak, we add se, yes, ugartes. And then they're like, what does se mean? And you're like, it's just there. If you remove it, nothing is gonna die, but it's a thing. So you start to notice the little things. That's, in my opinion, the advantage I've had. The disadvantages, of course, you find yourself always being the one. And that's another problem of itself, where this interview we're doing, I was talking to Cynthia about it. And the last time when we did it, I don't even remember, it's been ages. Last time when we talked about women and challenges, we were being filmed by men. Everything was men. And now it's changing. We're being filmed by a man and a woman. And there is a beautiful equity happening. You don't find that a lot, especially if you're going to work in this field of creative industry. You will find yourself several times being the only woman, either in the studio, on stage, out everywhere. You will find yourself as the only woman in the room. And sometimes you will also see things where there is no woman at all. So it has its challenges. But I have to add this. When you're born and raised in Rwanda, then you also don't notice how bad and important it is. But then when you start traveling, then it gets very important that there are more women in the room, because you have met intense, weird things in, let's say, Morocco, where they didn't want to take my passport. They wanted to get my passport from the man I was with. So it has its tougher challenges when you step outside of Rwanda, in my opinion.
She was only 3 months old. Someone tell me what her sins were.
I'm a woman in the music industry or in the creative industry, because now I'm dealing with podcasts and everything. I think every day, whenever I'm touching anything that is related to the creative industry, I feel the pressure, I feel the push intensely. But again, because I'm a woman and I'll find myself probably being the only one there, then also it has its privileges of being pushed now very fast. Very, very fast. Because, for example, I had been having the Andersonne Experience in less than a year. I was called to host it in BK Arena. Yeah, I had it in BK Arena Lounge. And, I don't think that's something that could have happened if I had not gone through the pressure and the pushing that I went through. So it has also the pushing, the pressure, it has its advantages. But when you're in it, it don't feel... You're not thinking about the gold being put through the fire. You don't think about it.
You blame my dress, my nights, my girls. You blame my taste, my brains, my friends.
So my advice is this: fail fast. Fail fast. Try again. And then when it gets too hard, relax. It's important. Then try again. And when you fail, whatever the system is you have, or if you're gonna build it, do. But fail, try again. When it's too hard, relax. There's no such thing as balance. None of us have balance. We think we have it and then it slips. Try again. Get up. When you need it, relax.